This is one angry clown. What's going on, Stim junkies? High Stim Ace here, bringing you a high Stim pre-workout review. I got something really special for you today. I picked up this pre-workout from a local supplement shop. Shouts out to Dmha Supplements over on West 8th Street in Manhattan, New York. I actually get a lot of stuff from there. It's one of the coolest, most old school, legitimately awesome shops I've ever visited. I've actually only gone there for the first time in my life a couple of months ago, and it's crazy that this shop managed to elude me for as many years as it did. But thanks to somebody on the pre-workout supplement subreddit, a fellow friend, he put me on this place and he told me all about it. And thanks to this guy, I was able to discover this amazing shop and grab myself a couple of really rare items, including Excelsior and Thermal Spark, which I will be reviewing this coming Wednesday. Today is Saturday. I've already ran it twice. I will be leaving my entire objective, unbiased review this coming Wednesday at 2 p.m. So stay tuned, save the date, and watch the video when it drops, because you're not going to want to miss this one. Let's get to today's video review. And today I'm going to be talking about a hitter that came out of left field. This is a product I didn't expect to blow my mind away. I didn't expect anything of it, because you have a lot of these pre-workouts coming out now. You have a lot of these high stim pre-workouts, and everyone's claiming Dmha, Dmha, Oriogenesis, and honestly, without a lab, you don't know who's actually putting what in what tub and what container. And in the end of the day, people can throw around the terms Dmha, Dmha, high stim pre-workout, extreme pre-workout, and a lot of these pre-workouts, if I'm being honest, I don't notice a difference. Sure, a lot of them will give you a little bit of energy, a little bit of concentration. Some will give you some euphoria and mood elevation. But there is something that separates the elite, the top of the top, from just your average, every other day, high-stim pre-workouts. Because not every high-stim pre-workout is created equal. A label could look very simple. It could only have 6 to 8 ingredients and blow your mind, as opposed to something that has a stacked science book label of 20 ingredients and a hefty scoop, and it could just do absolutely nothing for you, except maybe feel a little bit of a rush for 30-40 minutes. So when I tell you this product came out of left field, and it took me by surprise, and it kind of blew my mind, if I'm being honest, then believe me, this is something really, really good. And this is something I'm keeping right now in my personal stash. This isn't something I'm just going to try 2, 3, 4 times, review it, and then toss it out. This is a product I'm keeping in my personal stash. And I'm going to be getting this product going forward. Granted, I'm sitting on a lot of tubs right now. But believe me when I tell you, this is going to be a steady mainstay at High Stim Ace's personal stash. I am, of course, talking about Chaotic Rage from Madhouse Subs. Look at this beautiful box. Look at this angry, buff clown. I aspire to be big and buff and juicy like this guy right over here. Maybe without the clown makeup, but I don't mind putting on that muscle and taking my workout to the next level. You could tell that they paid whoever designed this thing a nice amount of money to actually design this, to get their whole marketing going over here. Very reminiscent to me of Insane Labs when it comes to the marketing. They got the whole horror aesthetic going on. They've kind of cornered the market on that. But this right here, it's got a couple of those little horror elements that I like so much. It's got the clown, circus elements, and I dig it. Why not? Marketing is just marketing. In the end of the day, it always matters about what's actually in the tub and how it actually affects you in the real world, in the gym, when it really comes down to it. But if you have nice marketing and a good product to boot, then you're just winning on all fronts. And I think we got something special with this product. I'm going to go over this label quickly because, like I say, labels are meaningless. It doesn't really mean anything. They're just there to create buzz and hype and get you all hopped up and excited. We as Stim junkies always get excited to see a new label and to try to dissect it and go over the dosages and see how they're going to intertwine and synergize together and how these ingredients are going to come together and how they're going to affect us. But that right there is really the key. How are all these ingredients that are supposedly in this tub, or in any other tub for that matter, how will these ingredients affect us when it comes down to it? Because ultimately you can have the most beautiful label, it could be scientifically dosed, clinically dosed to the max, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect you the way you want it to affect you. So let's go over this label, and I'm going to tell you what I really think about this product, having taken it 3 times at this point, and the effects have been consistent. each and every time. Right off the bat, they are claiming 30 scoops, 30 servings per container, which is really nice, especially today considering you got the whole 40-20 thing going on, and you're lucky if you get 25 servings, 25 genuine servings for that matter. So they're claiming 30 right off the bat. And serving size is 11.6 grams, which is 1 scoop. Now I'm going to tell you something before I even get to the actual label. I don't usually do this. I don't usually do this. But I do have a scale because I am sitting on a lot of single ingredient stimulants. I have my own Dmha, Oriogenesis, Dmha. I got a couple of nootropics. I got my own Nupep. So sometimes I will tweak things a little bit to fit it to my liking. And I do have a milligram scale for those purposes. But I decided, because somebody on the pre-workout supplement subreddit said that this scoop is a little bit underdosed. So I decided to give it a go because I really wanted to experience this. This brand, it doesn't say this on the tub, but I get their advertising on my Instagram all the time. And they're always advertising this as the 1 scoop pre-workout, and that's kind of their shtick. If you follow a bunch of supplement companies on Instagram, which I'm sure you guys do, if you're following me or any other reviewer or any other manufacturer on Instagram, you will know that Madhouse Subs is always going with that line, the 1 scoop pre-workout. Now, the problem is, and I weighed this myself, the scoop is underdosed. Yeah, it's a big problem. The scoop is actually pretty severely underdosed. The scoop itself is pretty tiny. If I take the scoop out right now, you could tell it's actually a pretty small scoop. It's not all that big. So when you fill this up, you're actually not getting 11.6 grams. Believe it or not, you're getting closer to 8.5 grams, which is about 3-ish grams less than what the serving size is. So if you do the math, and I'm not a mathematician, but if you do the math, and you're going to have to heap every single scoop, you're going to essentially have to take a scoop and a half to get the actual recommended serving size, which is 11.6 grams. Now the problem with that is that you can no longer claim 30 servings. Because if you're taking a scoop and a half to get the actual serving size, that's going to bring it down to 25 servings. So a little bit of disingenuous advertising when they say 1 scoop pre-workout, because it's really a scoop and a half, and that is just for the recommended size. So if you're looking to actually heap it a little bit, you're going to have to take closer to a scoop and 3/4, and at that point, your serving size is going to go down to 21 or 22. Again, I'm not good at math, but more or less, that's what it's going to come down to. And it's hard to really claim 30 scoops when you're really getting closer to 25 based on the serving size. That is what the serving size is. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you guys want to get the full dose, you're going to have to take a scoop and a half. And that's going to come out to around 11.6 to 12 grams. Now that I got that disclaimer out of the way, let's get down to this label. We start off with thiamine, which is vitamin B1 at 1 milligram. We have niacin, which is vitamin B3 at 20 milligrams, and then vitamin B12, which is 10 micrograms. So a little bit of vitamins in there, that doesn't hurt. That's always nice to have. Not really necessary for a pre-workout, but they decided to throw that in there, so it's okay. All these products have benefits. Niacin especially helps with fighting inflammation, which can help with preventing joint pain and stuff like that. So definitely not a bad thing to have in there. Some people have what's called a niacin flush, where your face turns red when you're training intensively and you can sweat it out. It's called a niacin flush. I personally don't respond bad to niacin. I do not get niacin flush. Even with Smash AMF, a lot of people were claiming that was the #1 side effect, was the niacin flush. I personally never got that. I got a lot of other side effects, but never that one. You can check out my Smash AMF review, by the way, which I dropped a couple of weeks ago, going through my entire experience, taking it 5, 6, 7 times, and you guys can see what I really thought about it. For the main pump ingredient, we have L-citrulline malate, 5,000 milligrams, slightly below clinical dose, but then again, who the hell cares about clinical dose? We care about the real world effects. Beta-alanine, 3,500 milligrams, which is slightly above clinical dose. How about that? So they're tweaking it a little bit. Interesting. Then we have caffeine matrix, which is interesting. Usually a lot of these labels now, especially these fancy schmancy labels, are going to give you all 3 forms of caffeine if they have all 3 forms of caffeine, and they will list it individually with how much milligrams of caffeine from every different source is in there. Over here, they kind of combine the whole thing. It's a caffeine matrix, and in parentheses it says caffeine anhydrous, dicaffeine malate, and caffeine citrate. 400 milligrams. So that is the total package. So you don't know how much of what you're getting, but based on the order that they're listing it in, I'm assuming caffeine anhydrous is probably going to be at about 250. Dicaffeine malate maybe at 100, and then 50 for caffeine citrate. Again, this is just my assumption. Labels are just labels. It doesn't really mean jack. But the whole combined caffeine content from all three sources is 400 milligrams. I like that. 400 is my perfect sweet spot. Anywhere from 350 to 400 is perfect. You do not need more than 400 milligrams of caffeine on a high stim pre-workout, especially one that's claiming DMHA on label. Next, we have L-tyrosine at 350 milligrams. Lots of benefits to that ingredient, on paper anyway. And here we have the big hitter, DMHA, just straight up DMHA, 250 milligrams. I like to note that this specific tub I got from Eva's Supplements in Manhattan, New York. And this is from the older batch. Mind you, it's not from like a year or two ago. It's from a couple of months ago. But the new batches will actually say Juglans Regia instead of DMHA. This one just straight up says DMHA, 250 milligrams. The newer batches will say Juglans Regia, but I've spoken to a couple of people on the subreddit and people say it still hits exactly the same. It's not a reformulation, it's just more like a thing to keep it a low profile for the FDA so they don't get any extra eyes on them. A lot of companies do that. So I do believe that whether you have the DMHA or the Juglans Regia version, it's not going to matter. I personally have the DMHA version, the one that says it on the label anyway. So 250 milligrams of DMHA, that's a very nice amount. I usually like anywhere from 2 to 300, so 250, right down the middle. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is very well sourced DMHA, and I'm going to get into that in my effects in just one moment. We have choline at 200 milligrams, Aureia genesis at 125, which some people are going to say it's a low dose. But again, when you have caffeine, DMHA, and Aureia together, that's the trifecta for Stim junkies. Those ingredients synergize so well together and create a nice, happy, euphoric mood elevation, a great experience for any Stim junkie that wants to get a good training session. We have synephrine at 75 milligrams, which is a thermogenic that's going to get you sweating, that's going to get the heart rate up a little bit. They put this ingredient in a lot of fat burners. I like synephrine. Anywhere from 50 to 75 milligrams is a sweet spot for me personally, so I'm all for it. Then we have theobromine, 50 milligrams. Not a big amount, but this is the little cousin of caffeine, and it's a good ingredient to add in there. Why not? Just a little extra source of energy and stimulation. Huperzine A, 3 milligrams, that's a nootropic that's going to help you focus, mind-muscle connection, concentration, all that good stuff. And lastly, yohimbine HCl at 2 milligrams, which is also a thermogenic. It's going to give you that energy, a little bit of aggression. And 2 milligrams is not crazy. It's not going to kill you. It's not alpha yo at 2 milligrams. It's yohimbine at 2 milligrams. So it's a much milder experience. Overall, a very solid label, nothing too crazy. It's not one of those crazy science book labels that you have to dissect. It's nice, it's simple, it's to the point. And most importantly, the effects of this product. Let's get to the effects. I took the drink. This is passion fruit flavor. I don't really care about flavors, but the flavor is decent. It's not bad. It definitely has that chemical undertone in the background, and you can taste it a little bit going down, but nothing too crazy. If you're used to Dark Labs or any other high stim pre-workout, this is actually pretty pleasant in comparison. It's really not that bad of a flavor. So I took the drink, and within 10 minutes, literally within 10 minutes, I started feeling the buzzing. That good, warm, comfortable feeling of DMHA, clean, well-sourced DMHA that I really, really like. And you feel that buzz creeping in, you feel the warmth at your core, and it creeps up slowly, and you start feeling it around your eyes and forehead, that lock-on concentration starting to come about, but a good floaty feeling at the same time. There's an uplift in mood. It's not an aggressive kind of experience. It's not a happy experience either, per se. This isn't like taking Crack OG or Dark Energy or Excelsior where you're going to feel happy and floaty. You're going to have a buzz. There's definitely a nice background buzz. I would even go as far as to say a mild euphoria. There's definitely a sense of urgency. Like, I got to take these weights, I got to push, and I got to take this workout to the next level. I want to go set after set after set with little rest in between. There was no crazy elevated heart rate, maybe slightly a little bit when you're getting the initial rush from the pre-workout hitting you, but nothing unbearable, nothing too crazy to the point where you can't focus. The focus is the star of the show. The focus, the concentration, and again, this is a complete package. If I had to pick one pre-workout that really encapsulates the entire Stim Junkie complete package, This right here is that product. And I'm surprised because I really didn't expect this to be anything mind-blowing. I didn't expect anything special. I thought this was just going to be a generic Dmha pre-workout, but boy was I wrong. I took this 3 times. I never even went 2 scoops. I went 1.5 scoops each time, which again, 1.5 scoops is technically 1 serving size based on the measurement that they provide on the tub. So I took the recommended serving size, and I had a great time. I was at the gym between 2.5 to 3 hours each time. I ran this the last 2 weeks, 3 separate times, and the consistency was there. The music sounds better, the mood is elevated, you feel good, you feel energized but not jittery, you don't feel that crackhead energy that you don't know what to do with yourself. You're focused, you're there to accomplish a task, you know what you have to do, and you're gonna get it done. And that's what a pre-workout should be about. You can grab this product from various vendors. You can get it from their official website. There's a lot of other popular retailers such as Subcentral, NutriCartel, Ruesco. A lot of places are selling this, so there's no shortage of this anywhere. So you can feel free to check out all these websites. I'm going to link everything down below. If you guys want a coupon code in order to save 15-20%, shoot me a message on Instagram at HiStimAce. Give me a follow while you're at it as well, and I will follow you back. If you guys enjoyed this video and you like having somebody that you can rely on to get supplement and pre-workout reviews that is not sponsored by anybody, unbiased, objective, 100% truthful, then give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, help me grow this amazing community that I've begun building over here, and let's grow and make this the greatest high-stim pre-workout enthusiast community here on YouTube. Take care, everybody. Till next time. Ace, signing off.